Have you ever, like, needed a last-minute gift, ordered it online, thought you were in the clear, and then bam, delivery date is next year?
Oh, tell me about it.
So come on! Anyway, it feels like retail these days is this crazy mix of, like, super convenient, but also kind of a chaotic mess sometimes.
Right.
So that's what we're diving into today.
Yeah, we're going deep.
We're going to try to figure out how this whole retail world actually works.
Behind the scenes.
Behind the scenes, we've got some really interesting research here.
Yeah, definitely.
Stuff about warehouses and, like, when you're online shopping and suddenly
Oh, algorithms.
in algorithms, it's like, how do they know I wanted that?
Yeah, they get you. They get you every time.
So we're going to unpack all that, but it's actually more than just buying stuff, right?
Right, it's way bigger than that now.
Our sources are saying retail has become this whole web of, like, operations, leadership, technology.
Even like employee motivation plays a role. It's pretty fascinating.
Okay, so let's start with the behind-the-scenes stuff.
Yeah, let's do it.
Our sources paint this picture of retail like this giant, well-oiled machine.
Hopefully well-oiled.
Hopefully. Right, because you were saying even a tiny part can mess up the whole thing.
Exactly. It's all about streamlining processes, which,
Makes total sense.
it makes sense, but it's not always easy. Like, remember that whole Ever Given ship stuck in the Suez Canal a while back?
Oh, yeah, that was wild.
One ship, global trade at a standstill. It just shows how fragile these supply chains can be.
That's like a domino effect.
Exactly. And retailers are constantly dealing with that on top of, like, keeping up with fast fashion or the shift to online shopping. It's a lot.
And speaking of online shopping, something I found super interesting in all this research is how much emphasis there is on the human side of things.
Oh, for sure.
Like, we think of online shopping as this, I don't know, kind of cold transactional thing. But it sounds like creating a positive experience for customers really comes down to people.
100%. You can have the best website, the best app, all the bells and whistles. But if the people behind it aren't invested,
Yeah, it shows.
it totally shows. There's this great case study we have in our material about a clothing company that totally revamped how they train their employees. Yeah, they focused on empowering their people to make decisions, really listen to what customers were saying they needed, and actually go above and beyond, not just,
Phoning it in.
exactly.
Yeah.
And guess what? Employee morale went way up, customers were happy campers, and of course, profits followed.
Makes sense.
It proves that investing in your people is the best thing you can do for your business.
And I feel like that plays into this whole balancing digital innovation with in-store engagement thing our sources talk about, right?
Oh, yeah, absolutely. It's finding that sweet spot.
Because, like, I was at this bookstore recently, and they had this cool app. I could scan a book, read reviews instantly, super handy.
So convenient.
Right. But then I also had this staff member who knew everything about books, giving me recommendations, and it was...
A nice balance. Right?
Yeah. It was a perfect blend, tech and the human touch.
Exactly. That's exactly what they're going for.
But okay, speaking of tech, we have to talk about the big one.
The elephant in the room.
AI. And I mean, forget robots stocking shelves.
It's more than that now.
It's way more than that now. This is like algorithms predicting what I want to buy before I even know it.
Before you even thought about it, they're like, here you go.
Right. It's a little creepy. But, like, there's a whole report on how AI personalizes our online recommendations. Like, it's looking at my browsing history, what I've bought before.
How long you hover over an image even.
Stop. Really?
It's true. They're tracking all of it.
I knew my phone was listening to me.
It's like it's reading our minds.
But, okay, jokes aside, it does make you think about the whole data side of retail. Because our sources say retailers are, like, obsessed with metrics.
Oh, yeah. Numbers, numbers, numbers.
Sales per square foot.
That's a big one.
It's like they're trying to decode our every shopping desire.
Because they want to know what works. Sales per square foot tells them how well they're using their actual store space, which, when you think about rent, is a big deal.
Right. Makes sense.
But it's more than just the numbers themselves. It's about understanding what they actually mean. Are people hanging out in a certain section?
Yeah.
Are they adding stuff to their online cart and then...
Roasting their cart?
Yes. Abandoning their cart. They need to figure out why.
It's like they're detectives almost.
In a way.
Yeah.
And then they use all these clues to make things better. Like the store layout, what products they put where, even marketing campaigns. It's all connected.
So it's not just about tracking the sale itself. It's about understanding why we buy what we buy.
Exactly.
Which I think is a really good place to kind of wrap things up. After, going through all this research, What do you think the future of retail looks like? Are we all going to be shopping in the metaverse, or will real-life stores always be a thing?
I mean, that's the million-dollar question, isn't it?
Right.
I wish I had a crystal ball. But honestly, I think the only thing we know for sure is that retail is going to keep changing.
Constantly evolving.
Exactly. Who knows what crazy innovations are coming next or what challenges.
Right.
It's going to be a wild ride, that's for sure.
Well, on that note, I think that's a good place to leave it. Lots to think about for sure. Thanks to everyone for joining us for this deep dive into the world of retail.
Thanks, everyone.